Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to Kicker Rocks Podcast 2 Drink Minimum. Are you hungry? You will be, because in this episode we're talking about our favorite places to eat on the south side of Chicago. So sit back, relax, have a drink with us, and enjoy. All right, gentlemen and ladies and gentlemen listening. Cheers.
Cheers.
Clink.
Clink. Long distance.
Yeah, long
we
distance.
got a little long distance microphone situation going on here. Welcome to Two Drink Minimum. I'm Bill.
I'm Joe.
I'm Sergio.
And that's it. The other two guys are
On assignment.
They're on assignment. They're on assignment far away. But we'll represent them well here. We're gonna do a quick one for you here, guys. The topic at hand is favorite South Side of Chicago, in case you didn't know. Food. Favorite food on the South Side. Where do you go? What's your go-to restaurant? Your go-to skillet, so to speak, wherever you want. Where do you go to get the best possible food on the South Side, in your opinion? Who wants to take the first crack at this?
I will go first.
Joe, you're up.
This is going to be open for debate. Everybody's got their own favorite. But we're talking pizza.
Oh, this is going to cause outrage.
Not necessarily. Mine's a pretty well-loved top of most people's lists.
All right.
But I'm going to go with Vito and Nick's.
Very good pizza.
I don't know that you can go wrong with Vito and Nick's pizza. It is a thin crust, for those of you that don't know. Sergio, have you ever had?
I have not.
Oh,
I've
man.
got my own favorites, my own go-tos.
So the thing about Vito and Nick's is they're not going to deliver to you. You have to go dine in.
Okay.
With a nice pitcher of Old Style, or carry out only.
That's just Chicago to its core.
Yeah, it's super old school.
Squares or slices?
It's squares.
Good.
Little, like, even bite size. I can tell you guys a good story about a Vino and Nick's. One night back years ago when I lived with Joe Calzaretta, I was his roommate. We decided to go there one night, and the idea was to eat a pizza there, bring one home for my brother who lived across the street from us at the time, and then I was also bringing another one home for my girlfriend. But she was at work, and I was bringing it home so she could have it later because she also loved it. It's so good and so easy to eat because the squares are like little bite-sized squares. We literally ate 2.5 of the pizzas.
What size pizzas?
Like what
were
size?
these?
Large.
Oh my god!
So we drank beer and ate pizza for several hours, and then had to reorder. Then, like, realizing, oh man, we ate these pizzas we were supposed to bring home.
Oh,
So we had
no.
to order 2 more to bring home with us.
Wow.
It was amazing, absolutely, but it's so good, and it's like this cool, like, it's old school, man. It is super super old school, and the pizza is just outstanding. Like I said, it's a thin crust. It's got a good sauce. It's got everything about it's just fantastic.
It's
Bill, you've had it.
Oh yes, it's incredible pizza, definitely. Now, one of the points I want to get to with that is Vito and Nick's. It's a one of a kind joint, or is that a franchise joint, Joe?
Well, it is actually a one of a kind. There was been a couple of imitations
Sure.
or I think attempted franchise locations.
Sure.
That
But
never
the
really
original-
stuck. But the original
Like
over
a mom
at,
and pops.
84th and Pulaski, very
Yeah.
much mom and pop.
Yeah,
kind of.
that's where
place.
some of the best pizza and best food, I think, in my opinion, in Chicago is the mom and pops one of a kind joints.
Well, yeah, and I mean this one tops my list overall, but I mean there's 2 other ones that are really close and they deliver. So I eat them more frequently than I eat Vito and Nick's.
I may mention
unfortunately.
one.
I have a feeling you're gonna.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so that's my first pick for this one, for the show.
Awesome. I've got nothing to add to that, Sergio.
Sergio's never had it.
I wish.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
I missed that. I'm sorry.
Like I said, I got my favorites, and we should save our favorite pizzas, like, as a group, probably for another time. But
Okay.
I do think that I need to try it because
Yeah.
Joe, you're not the first person I've heard say Vito and Nick's
Yeah.
pizza is like amazing. So I'm always willing to give it a try.
Okay.
So
We'll have to have an outing.
Yeah.
let's do it.
I'm down.
See, let's see if we can eat our own pizza like you once did.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm way fatter now too. So.
Won't be a challenge at all. Like
This was over 10 years ago that happened.
Yeah.
Now I got all the room in the world.
Awesome.
Jeez.
Awesome. That was a good idea too, given the location of it. In case people are listening and they haven't tried it yet, they want to.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Assuming we still know where these places are. I'm sure we do.
I would hope so. You're
If
not
it's your
mentioning
favorite
a place
place,
you don't
right?
know.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Sounds good.
All right. Well, I'll go.
All right.
Like whenever I get a chance, and I'm on the south side, like over there on 103rd and Kedzie, I will definitely make a point to stop at Pops, because when a Pops beefs,
Yeah.
that is something that makes me extremely happy. And I got my own unique way to
yeah,
of
I was
ordering.
going to ask, how do you get your beef?
That's the thing, and I don't know if there is much debate on how one orders a beef as much as there is like how you order a hot dog or how you
No.
get your pizza sliced. But the way I do it, and I'm told that I'm doing it wrong, but it's like I ask for it extra dry with red sauce and jardiniere.
Okay.
Hot
Okay.
jardiniere. And that's the thing. I feel like everybody else says, no, you got to dip the bread. And I hate
It's a
soggy
big-
bread.
It is
So-
a big. I'm with you. I hate soggy bread as well, but it is a big Chicago thing to get the bread dipped as well. I like the natural juice that it comes with, but I always feel like when I get a beef from anywhere in Chicago that it's if I don't say dry, it's gonna have too much juice.
Oh, yeah. It'll be,
Even dry still has the juice.
I say extra
Right,
dry.
Actually, I can. So first of all, you're right in the sense that there's no real way that you have to order a beef. There's actually any like good beef place you go will give you various options.
Yeah.
It's just when you put the red sauce in, that's what made me go ugh. But other than that,
To me, it's good.
That's
To
fine.
me,
And
that is
that up
delicious.
and actually, there are places I want to say maybe Bona is one of them that will say like they'll offer you red sauce. It's an option.
And
That
then
you don't have to seek out.
And there's some places that don't even have it.
Some
I've
places
been to
don't offer
yeah,
it
exactly.
at all. Like a lot of
They'll
there's
kick
places,
you out of their store.
There's
Yeah.
places that'll ask you, natural or red sauce.
There you go.
They'll give you the either or, and then
Yeah.
there's places that just straight up won't.
And God forbid
Um,
you're in another state and you say red sauce, because people they ask
don't
you
know
like,
what it
well,
is.
what do you talk like? What's
Yeah.
red sauce?
Well, they don't know.
And they're
In
just
most
like,
states, they don't know what Italian beef is.
Yeah.
Italian beef is very much a Chicago thing. And everybody else, it's a roast beef sandwich.
Yeah, that's
And
a good point.
Amanda used to call a roast beef sandwich, and I would it would be one of those where I would take her hand and be like, no, because it's wrong. That being said, on the Pops beef though, she actually got one the other night, and I forgot to they didn't even ask me if I wanted it dipped or dry or whatever. So it was technically dry, but it's still not, because
Right.
as
Oh,
to
it's
Bill's
so true.
point, it still has the juice
That's
is still
why-
on the
That
Which
juice
is-
finds a
that's-
way to the foil it's wrapped in.
That's
Right.
why I say extra dry, because you'll see them take it out and they'll
shake it.
still shake the beef
Oh, yeah.
dry
Oh, yeah.
before putting it on the bread.
Yeah.
See, and then there's other variations. Like I'm a fan of the Pops beef and cheddar, or even the
never had it.
Portillo's
That
beef and
sounds
cheddar
good, though.
croissant.
Oh,
Pretty good stuff.
That's
But and I also get
Portillo's.
I don't know about
That's
you.
good, too.
Now you didn't mention any cheese
good.
on yours.
I don't put any cheese on it, but what I
Yeah,
do
I like
from
mozzarella.
But what I do for
I'm
my
with you.
side is their Pops' French fries with a cheese
Their,
dip.
their cheese sauce is
Yeah, cheese sauce. Oh,
fantastic.
It's great.
Yeah,
It's
I just
awesome.
had Pops Saturday for dinner, so I can't. I'm living this with you right now.
I mean, we are,
Yeah.
as we say right now, blocks away from.
less than
Yeah.
a mile from
Yeah.
Pops right now.
Yeah.
It's very convenient and very. Oh, I love that place. We eat there a
Yeah.
lot.
Oh yeah.
Meg and I get
there's a lot
Pops
of
quite frequently.
there's a lot of variety, but beef is the tops for sure, Sergio. You definitely
No doubt.
nailed that.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Any
All
other
right.
comments on Pops beef?
No, it's fantastic. Try it.
Yeah.
However you want
Now-
it.
oh,
Red sauce, no red
You
sauce,
asked a good
dry,
question.
wet, whatever.
You asked a question of me. We can ask of Sergio. Sergio, is this a standalone or a chain? Do you even know the answer to this?
It's not a standalone, but it's not a chain. There's like 5 or 6 of them,
Right.
but
Right.
they're all owned by the same family,
Right.
right?
Yes.
They're not franchised.
No, but
you
do you prefer this local one here, 103rd and Kedzie?
I honestly.
Have you been to any of those?
Actually, the first one I went to, that's the Pops over there on 127th
127th
and
in Harlem.
Harlem.
Yeah.
And I think that was the first one that I ever tried
Okay.
when I was in high school.
Okay.
So I actually started over there and then
Moved.
ended up, go
Is
to
it-
this one.
Would you say the quality's the same? Because that's sometimes a question: is the quality the same throughout.
For me, yes, but at the same time, like we're talking like over 20 years ago. Like I was young, over 30 years ago.
All right.
So
Interesting.
You are old.
yeah.
No,
God damn.
I kid.
Yeah.
All right, Bill.
Oh,
What do you
man.
got?
Oh man. I mean, kind of want to choose a different type of food. 'Cause you guys definitely chose
Pizza beef.
two favorite. Oh, pizza beef. Yeah, you go to Uncle Bobby's Pizza Beef. It's on 103rd and Cicero. I don't know. No, I like. Oh man, my absolute favorite. I'm gonna go with Rosangeles.
That would be my.
Yeah.
That's one of my other ones on my list. So
I have
well
to do
done.
it because it's one of my favorite places to go to on the South. It's also my favorite pizza of all time anywhere. So I know we're probably maybe should have we're leaning we're tipping our hand or whatever for the pizza one if we do a pizza one later on. But I'll say this again, I don't care. I love that. I grew up near there. It's in Evergreen Park. Just on the outskirts of Chicago. It's on 95th Street in California. It is one of a kind place, always has been. More than a few years back, when I was really young, it was a half address, right? It was I
They
forget.
still have the half address.
They still have the half address, but it was the same size as the half address too. It was pretty small. It was just you walked in, there was the kitchen right there, the open kitchen. You could see them making everything. And then there was a little dining area, very small, and they had an arcade machine, I remember, as I used to play it all the time. They had the old school jukebox set up. Very cool place. I loved it. Very old school. They've redone it, and the restaurant is much nicer, for sure. They still have the open kitchen concept, though. You can look and see them making everything. It's just a little bit of a bigger space, but it's the same, same ovens, same pizza, same recipe. I love it to this day. And when my brothers come in town, that's a staple. I think you had said before, whenever you're on the South Side, you got to get Pops. Whenever they come to visit, it's what night are we ordering Rosangeles? Because we know what's going to happen, But which night's it going to be? Because that was just, our favorite pizza growing up. And I love it. The sauce, the meats they use, the crust is thin crust, and I wanted to bring this up, Joe, because you mentioned a thin crust place as well, and I want to talk about this really quick. Little side shoot action. Everybody that's not from Chicago thinks, Chicago, deep dish pizza, right?
Right.
Here's the thing. In my humble opinion, the best pizza in Chicago is not deep dish pizza.
Nope, I agree with you.
No way.
I agree with you.
The
100%.
thin crust pizza at some of these places is way better than any deep dish you'll ever have. Yep. I think. I don't know. Serge,
No, I do agree with you on that.
Yeah.
And you said you were going to name one of my spots, and you did.
There you go.
And the third one being another thin crust to me, Palermo's.
Might as well throw it out there. There you go.
So those are
Also,
my top
yeah.
three.
We should have just talked about pizza.
Well,
today.
hey, we can't help it. Now,
We're going to go around a second time.
again.
We're going to say that. And I got
Maybe
another
a
pizza
third.
place for the second. No, I'm kidding.
Maybe even a third. I don't know.
Maybe a third. No.
to answer
Let's
answer your question.
Deep dish or no?
No. Here's the thing. Yeah, my favorite pizza is thin, but I have there's a place in my heart for deep dish,
Sure.
and like I don't order it a lot because to me it's like it's a heavy pizza. Like there's like you get. I'll just say it. I have to go to Giordano's for deep dish pizza at least once every 2 months. I don't get it often because again, it's a heavy meal. I can only eat one slice. I'll buy a small. That small will last me like 5 meals because like I'm only eating like
sure.
a slice for each one because it's just so much cheese.
With a knife and
But
fork.
with a knife and fork. But it's so damn good. But when I'm just ordering regular pizza and I'm just gonna because it's easier and tastier and it's in squares. Yeah, I'm gonna order from. I don't want to say my favorite yet.
Okay.
I'm gonna save it for
Save it for the pizza
for the
cast.
I'm gonna
pizza
save
cast?
it for
All
pizza
right.
cast.
So I can give you a quick. I found an easier way to eat Giordano's recently by mistake. The United Center is now selling Giordano's pizza, and it's small little individual, tiny little 4 slice deep dish pizzas.
Joe, what is your second? What's your second choice?
So this is interesting because I don't know. Like obviously we've been two pizza and an Italian beef.
Nothing healthy. Nothing healthy, by the way.
No, I mean, come on, it's salsa. There's no healthy food.
Yeah, right.
So I'm debating, like, if we'd have like an honorable mention, like a third go round or favorite particular item,
maybe
I might throw this last one out because it kind of fits the topic. But I got to go with a breaded steak. Riccobenni's.
Ooh.
Now Riccobenni's being no longer
in Bridgeport, or which
that's
one?
the only one is left.
Yeah,
is Bridgeport. So now my boss and his family are originally from Bridgeport. Okay, they live in Lamont now, but on occasion, his mom Phyllis, who works with us, will make a trip to the neighborhood, and when she goes, she gets sandwiches, and she'll get them. She'll go like in the evening, and she'll get them, and she puts them in like a little bag, and she throws them in the fridge, and she brings them to work the next day, heat it up, and that's my lunch. And oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
It is outstanding. So since there isn't one local, though, I have done my due diligence and tried a few places.
Okay.
Frankie's Beef in Oak Lawn, 95th just east of Southwest Highway, does a fantastic breaded steak sandwich along with their cheese cubes. Makes a fantastic meal. There's a place, Tony's Italian Beef, that also does an awesome breaded steak sandwich at 67th and Pulaski. So, but we can't, I mean, I digress. The best, of course, Riccobenni's. You guys, your faces when I mentioned it, both your mouths started watering.
That breaded steak is tough to beat. That's where it's at.
Yeah,
it's very good.
Yeah.
One of a kind. One of a kind.
I agree. Riccobenni's, it's amazing and tasty.
Yeah.
And every time I get it, like, it's been a while since I've had it.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure they put the red sauce on there and the mozzarella cheese. It's almost like a chicken parmesan.
Yep.
On a sandwich. But the funny thing is,
except it's
so like growing up, when I'd go visit like cousins in like the Pilsen neighborhoods.
Yeah.
So I remember my first experience with a breaded steak was like a torta con milanesa, which milanesa is basically Spanish for like breaded steak.
Right.
And so I'm used to having breaded steak on a torta with like lettuce, tomatoes, avocados, and then a bunch of hot sauce. So I actually like that way more than Riccobenni's. And yet Riccobenni's is amazing. So if you ever get a chance and you find yourself in a Mexican restaurant and they sell tortas and you see the option for a milanesa, try it because it's pretty damn amazing.
Can I say that that's the most Mexican I've ever heard you sound?
Okay, sure.
I'm just pointing that out.
Fine.
It's not because you like that food, but the way you pronounce the words. Anyway, I'll try it. Of course, I'll try it.
It's good.
That's just interesting that it's like a whole different take on the bread steak. I love it.
Yeah, and it's like it's probably, I don't know if it is the same type of steak. At least in the milanesa, it's like a skirt steak. What's the type of steak that they use in Riccobenni? Do we know?
I don't even think I know.
Because it's pounded flat.
Of course, yeah.
So it might even be a skirt steak as well.
Let's look that up. Bill, any thoughts?
I mean, it's one of those where it's a treat. It's a treat. I'm trying to look it up, but it's a treat to go to Riccobenni's anytime you're in the area. Sometimes you're just driving by there, you're not even hungry, but you're like, well, I'm here. Might as well get a breaded steak sandwich to go.
Right.
I'll wrap it up, and like you said, I'll have it the next day. I'm sure I'll have it. So yeah, it is one of those that's it's a staple in Chicago. If you haven't heard of Riccobenni's or you've never had their steak sandwich and you live here, shame on you. Go get one right now. Stop listening to the podcast. Pause it.
No, just listen to us in the car.
Oh, there you go. Right. Oh, yeah, you can be mobile now. These kids nowadays and their technology.
Come on, Bill.
All right. But yeah, no, nothing to add to that. I mean, it's fantastic. You can't argue with that steak sandwich.
Oh, here's a recipe for a breaded steak sandwich from the Toronto Bread Company.
Uh-oh.
It doesn't even tell me what kind of steak. It just says steaks. 6 sandwich steak or round steak cutlets. It's sandwich steak.
Sandwich? That makes complete sense.
It makes total sense, I suppose. So anyway, Sergio, that wasn't your second go round here though, was it? Your second
Well,
answer?
okay,
would
no.
it be?
Well, you know what? Now that we're talking about, like, since I brought up like a Mexican joint, I have to admit, if we're gonna talk about like places I've gone to in like this like Mount Greenwood area over the years of like partying and staying out until 2 or 3 in the morning, I think I'm gonna have to say El Gallo.
Yes!
Like,
Yes!
There's nothing better than stopping at El Gallo at like 2 in the morning.
Oh,
2,
God.
3, 4 in the morning.
And you hear the always famous "Hello, honey."
Oh, there's very few
That's
things
exactly
more
how she
enjoyable
sounds.
than hearing that beautiful woman musically say hello to you and serve you chips. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Especially when you're a little inebriated.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
And the thing-
the chips and the red sauce and the sour cream, I could eat that for hours.
Yeah. Oh,
before
yeah.
you even get to any kind of burritos or steaks or tacos or anything.
And
Like,
and honestly, I don't think I've ever stepped in an El Gallo during the day. Like, I think I've only been
impossible.
there like after 1 a.m.
I feel like
And
there's
so
like a force
I don't
field.
know if the food is really good. But drunk Sergio thinks it's amazing.
Say something about drunk Sergio. He loves all
he
that.
loves El Gallo.
He wakes up the next day smiling like I had El Gallo last night.
Gallo
I think.
last
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, and it's been so long. I haven't had it in so long.
Are
Can we
you-
get drunk tonight and get El Gallo, fellas?
I think we might have to.
Fine, but are you, I mean, at our age, are we smiling the next morning after
No.
El Gallo? I don't think we're smiling.
no,
Probably not.
no, it's kind of like having
22-year-old Sergio
I
was
had
smiling.
Whitey's on Saturday night, and it was made for a bad Sunday, and I think El Gallo would do the same.
Yeah.
We don't need to know, but we do.
We do. We're gonna find out tonight. That'll be our next podcast. What
Yeah.
happens the day after you eat El Gallo?
We're gonna do a podcast live from El Gallo, 3 in the morning.
Just so we could actually record.
Yeah.
Hi, honey.
Yeah.
Like-
Oh God! Now, is there a particular dish even?
Oh,
that you
absolutely.
get? What do you prefer?
Anytime I go there, I only
Steak
get
burrito?
a steak torta.
Steak-
I don't like burritos. I think I told
Okay.
you guys this. I don't like flour tortillas. The consistency. When you
Okay.
grew up on homemade flour tortillas, it's just way better. And it like, I loathe like store bought flour tortillas.
There you go.
Gotcha.
So whenever I go to El Gallo, it's a steak torta with everything.
Interesting. I'm always good for a chicken burrito or 2 chicken tacos with cheese.
Ah,
Gotcha.
I foolishly go steak burrito every time.
Why is that foolish?
Because I can't get away from it. I always say,
It's
not
not
this time,
foolish.
Bill. Not this time. Just get a couple tacos and you'll feel better in the morning. But then, old
then
drunk Bill takes over and he goes, "You can have a burrito. You can
What's-
have 2 if you want."
What's his name? Declan?
Declan? Yeah, Declan. My alter ego, Declan. He hasn't been out in a while.
Sergio, I'm so happy that you said El Gallo.
Yeah.
Although St.
We
Patrick's
would've-
Day is around the corner.
We would have been remiss to not mention
Yeah.
good old El Gallo on this time around.
And on that note, on a similar note, I have a similar pick. Not one that you really go into, but it's definitely it's a place open late night. It's great. We could call it drunk food, I suppose. And I think it's another Southside staple, especially in our area, and that is Rosie's.
Oh, yes.
103rd and Cicero.
I've only been inside that place once. Every other time is drive-through.
Yep. And and here's the reason why. And I didn't, there's not really one specific food, so I'm kind of cheating saying this. They got a little bit of everything. If you don't know, it's a hot dog, beef, Euro type joint.
Little
Cheese sticks,
deep-fried
fries,
pizza
whatever,
puffs.
deep fried pizza puffs, you name it. A drunk's night out delight, right? You know what I mean? A little bit of something for everybody. But they are so ridiculous there. They're so fast. It is mind-boggling. Every time I've gone there, I feel like I order and I always wonder if they get my order, if they heard me, because they always say, "Okay, drive through." Like real fast and real serious. All right, drive through. Is that it? Yeah, drive through. And I do, and then they're like, basically, like before I can even stop my car, they're like handing the bag out of the window, and I'm like, "Okay, that's awesome. Thank you. Have a good evening."
It's always right. They never screw it up.
No, they are not. They are not. And of course, kids, if you are going to use the drive-through and you have been drinking, make sure you're not the one driving. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Tell that Uber to go through the Rosie's drive-through because that is clearly what I was implying. Of course. with the
Actually.
getting the food in the drive-through. No, be safe, kids. You know that. It's 2 drink minimum. We like to have fun, but Kick Rock's here to tell you, be safe while you do it. All right.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, Rosie's. I mean, it's even in a song from the what is the Larkin and Moran brothers, right? Then it's off to Rosie's place. A special there for me is a lyric in the song. And they're talking about that place because
Really?
it's that awesome. Yeah, absolutely.
I did not know
Oh,
that.
and locations of our last 2 places: El Gallo at 111th and Cicero, or
Yeah.
west of Cicero,
Yeah.
and Rosie's right at 103rd and Cicero in Oak Lawn. We've been giving locations for
Yeah.
our spots here, so
Yeah, we are.
I know we were going to go around twice, but can I just rapid fire a couple
Do it.
things that
Go
I
ahead.
just left?
Do
You
it.
love food. We know it.
Yeah, I absolutely do. 2 that I want to mention real quickly, items wise: Wojo's Shakes,
Ooh.
Oh,
Wojo Shakes, Grisano's Pizza Puffs.
Yeah.
Massive, giant Grisano's Pizza Puffs. And then something that was completely off the radar, and you guys are probably both going to be like, well, wait, oh my God. We never touched on any barbecue, and there are 2.
Some good barbecue.
Chuck's
Yes.
in Burbank on 79th Street, and then where I went, another place I went, because again, I like food. My past weekend was apparently eating at all these wonderful places. Hog Wild.
Oh,
Midlothian.
Absolutely.
yeah, Midlothian,
Absolutely.
right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Home of the pork chop,
yeah.
and a plethora of other fantastic barbecue items.
The pork chop. Yes.
Oh, it's so good. So good. Okay, I just wanted to rifle through those.
No,
I mean, I
that's-
could sit here and talk for hours about some of these places.
solid.
But
No, there's.
do you guys have
there's-
any other ones to rifle out there and throw out for the crowd here?
I mean,
I really don't.
if we really had to think about it, yeah, there's. Here's
Rainbow
the thing. Yeah, exactly. We didn't even touch on sweets. That's why I'm glad you said Wojo Shakes, because I'm like, oh, there's plenty
Yeah.
of those places too. Here's the thing, guys. Chicago, great for food, no doubt. A lot of good places. We've just barely scratched the surface on the
Yes.
south side.
Yeah,
Okay, if we did the whole city as a whole, and we included that other side of the city.
Yeah,
All
I think
right.
most of my places would still be around here.
All right. Oh well, sure. But there's a lot of places. So many good. We didn't even talk about hot dogs. That's how many good places there are, and I love hot dogs. But Chicago, known for its hot dogs, we
Fat
didn't
Tommy's,
even get
Junior's.
there yet. We're gonna have
Those
to
are my
dedicate a
Southside
whole
spots.
episode just to hot dogs, you guys.
I gotta shut up.
Yeah.
That's where
I'm
we're
getting
going.
hungry.
I know you're getting yourself all worked up. Getting
Lay
yourself all
off!
worked up.
I'm starving.
So yeah, I mean the moral of the story is there's definitely some good places.
Tune into our future favorites. Favorites
we are.
episodes.
I think if anything, if this this short episode taught us anything, it's that we probably do need to do specific foods for the next one. This is a very general one. I think we definitely hit some good favorite places that your kicker rockers like to go.
Turn my mic off. I keep mentioning places.
All right. So Joe doesn't get himself into a hunger tizzy. We're gonna end things right now. And you know what, Sergio?
yeah.
I think you want to end this podcast. I think you're up.
No,
Tony's not here. You got to do it.
I got
You gotta
nothing.
do it.
Just say chicka chicka bow wow and then make up words. That's what he does. That's great.
This is WKRP. I have nothing to say because I don't know how to do this because Tony does this all the time. Bow wow wow now, chow now, cow now, pow now.
Yes.
Beautiful. Tony's fired. All right, that's going to do it for this episode of 2 Drink Minimum. Thank you so much for tuning in. Are you hungry now? I know I am for sure. After listening to this one, I want to eat at all the good places on the south side. Did we miss a couple that you love to frequent? Let us know. You know where you can do that. You can email us at podcast@kickerrock.com, or you can comment right on our Facebook page. Remember to like and subscribe to our podcast on iTunes. Again, thank you for tuning in. This has been 2 Drink Minimum. We've been drinking, thinking, and talking shop. Cheers, everybody.